India has announced that it has agreed with China to withdraw their troops from a contested Himalayan border region. The soldiers have been confronting each other since China began building a road on the Doklam plateau. Pachai Raksawang in Bangkok has more.
Observers were concerned that an unintentional clash could erupt between the two nuclear powers, but the agreement appears to have eased tensions. The Doklam Plateau is claimed by China and Bhutan, India's ally. India has no territorial claim there, but the area is strategically important. The standoff between the two countries has lasted over 2 months. A statement released by India's Foreign Ministry on Monday says the two sides were able to express their views and concerns during diplomatic communications. Meanwhile, a Chinese Foreign Ministry spokesperson confirmed that Indian troops have left the disputed area. But regarding the movement of Chinese forces, she only said China will look at the situation and then consider the adjustment of its personnel.
Troops have been pulled out of a disputed area at the borders of India, China, and Bhutan. China and Bhutan both claim the Doklam Plateau and Valley in the Himalayas, that is, as their own. Indian troops entered the area in June to support Bhutan and stopped a Chinese team from building a road. India and China agreed on Monday to withdraw their soldiers. Sohail Rahman has more from New Delhi.
Beijing and New Delhi both have different versions of the diffusion of tension along a small stretch of land that borders both Bhutan and China. Now, Bhutan has India as a very strong ally. India has a military base to the western border of Bhutan overlooking Doklam. It's been a contested area for many decades. Both countries, China and Bhutan, claim it and have been in negotiations to try and solve the problem. The problem itself started in mid-June when China started to construct a road in the area, a road they say they need for trade. Bhutan objected, India supported them and tried to stop the construction, worried about the fact that China could use this road for deploying military equipment and personnel should there be any conflict in the area. The national papers in India are certainly saying that it's a victory for New Delhi. Doklam is diffused, the ice breaks in time for the PM's visit. Obviously, Mr. Modi going to Beijing for the BRICS conference. The Hindustan Times is also saying Doklam standoff ends, India-China withdraw troops. Of course, any de-escalation of violence is something that New Delhi would welcome, as would Beijing, but it does come at an appropriate time as Prime Minister Modi heads to Beijing as he's being hosted by the Chinese President Xi Jinping for the BRICS summit, a group of 5 emerging economic powerhouses: Brazil, Russia, India, China and South Africa. They will be talking economics, as they always do, and trade, and it's very important that these two powerhouses of Asia get on because they are the biggest manufacturing centres globally, and working together is very important for them.
And there's an update on the China-Indian border situation. India's foreign ministry says it has agreed with China to an expeditious disengagement of its troops at Doklam area, where soldiers from the two countries have been engaged in standoff for more than 2 months. Well, there was no immediate confirmation from the Chinese foreign ministry, and we will keep you updated on the latest if it is available. Well, earlier in the broadcast, we told you that the Indian has reacted, that they will be engaged in disengagement activities from the border area with China. And here's what the Chinese foreign ministry has been saying to this. On June the 18th, the Indian troops crossed the border, seeking section into the Chinese territory. Through diplomatic channels, China has been in consultation with the Indian and expressed China's stance on this issue to the international community and urged the Indian authorities to withdraw its troops from the border area. At the same time, the Chinese troops have been forcefully enforcing its rise of territory. On August the 24th, the Indian troops has visited all the troops and equipment to the Indian side. The Chinese has confirmed this. Chinese will, inconsistent with the historical rights, to maintain its territory rights the Chinese government always respect friendly relations with its neighbors and look forward to Indian respect the international law and maintain peace and stability in the border area and promote the relationship between the two countries. And that's Chinese Foreign Ministry spokesperson Hua Chunying responded to the news of the Indian troops withdrawing from the border area. And that is the world today on CT.